Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jana Edwards. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I am here live with you this morning for Coffee and a Card. Normally, I go live on Tuesday mornings, but my schedule has been a little different this week, so I had to switch it up. So I'm coming to you live 10 a.m. Wednesday morning for Coffee and a Card. So my Coffee and a Card class consists of a card, and then I go live again on Thursdays, and we create 3 different projects for the week. I also offer the projects as a class kit to go. So if you place a $50 order in my online store, I will send you the card kit in the mail for free. If you're here joining me today, please drop me a comment below. Just leave me a little note in the comments so I know that you're watching me. I appreciate you guys being here. I am going to turn my camera down. I have a couple of announcements, and I'm going to get started this morning. Okay, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Typically with Coffee and a Card, we just create 1 card, but I'm going to start doing 2 cards on Tuesdays and then 2 cards on Thursdays, because normally I go live on Tuesdays, but today my schedule is a little different, so I'm doing Wednesday and Friday this week. So I had some things on my schedule that I had to move my classes around this week. So this week we'll be doing 2 cards during Coffee and a Card, and then 2 cards on my second class of the week. We'll do 2 cards. So it's a total of 4 cards for the week. So you get 4 cards in your kit. So let me go ahead and turn my camera down. I'm going to go through some announcements so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Okay. How's that? I think I'm in frame today. Do I need to move over a little bit? No, I need to go this way. Okay. All right, so right now Stampin' Up! Is having their sweet sale. So it's a buy one, get one half off for any sweet or sweet products. So if you have a full suite of products that you like that you see in the Stampin' Up! Catalog in my online store, you can purchase that suite and then purchase another product or even another full suite for half off. If you see a stamp, you only want the bundle, which is the die set, which is like, let me see, do I have a bundle? Like, okay, say for instance, you like the Sweet Blooms bundle and you only want the bundle. So you can order the bundle and then you can order another bundle for half off. All right. If you have paper that you like and you want another pack of paper, it's the same thing. It's going to take half off of the lesser value item. So just keep that in mind. So if you order a bundle and paper, it's going to take the half price item off of the paper. But you also get Stampin' Rewards for the amount of your order. You get, it's 10% back starting at $20. You get 10% back in rewards to spend on future purchases, or you can save them up to spend, whenever you get the amount that a large amount and you want to spend it, you can spend it however you want to spend it. But you can rack them up and save them for an entire year. All right. So there's that. Right now is the subscription period for the July Paper Pumpkin, which is, this is an exclusive box for this month. And from what I understand, it is extremely cute. You get enough product to make 8 cards. I think it's 4 each of 2 designs. And it's card bases, envelopes, all of the embellishments, everything that you need to make those cards. I actually have added an extra kit onto my subscription. So if you want to subscribe, there should be links for all of these items in the description of the video too, if you're interested in that. All right, here it is. So July, you get enough product to make 8 cards. It's pre-cut paper, vellum, hand-painted card bases, and the colors are garden green. You'll get a Stampin' Spot that's garden green, so you get a little ink pad. It's like a little 1-inch ink pad in the garden green color. Granny Apple Green, Pool Party, Poppy Parade, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger are all the colors that are going to be in this kit. All right. Stampin' Up is also offering a virtual album retreat. The cost of the kit, so you get the kit. We actually got to see a sneak peek of it last night during my team meeting, and it's a lot. It's a lot of product, and everything is hand cut for you, or everything is already pre-cut for each layout. So you get 2 layouts for each month. So it's a total of 24 layouts. So that comes out to like $10 a layout, maybe a little over $10 for a layout, which isn't bad. So these are what the layouts look like. If you have any questions about that, you can email me or go to my online store, and there'll be information about it in my online store. All right. Class kit to go. So like I said, I offer my weekly classes in a class kit to go. I hold 2 classes a week. I can't talk today. We create 4 projects for the week. So these will be the 4 projects that we create this week. These are the 2 we're going to create today. And then these are the ones that we'll create on Friday. So you'll get a kit for each one of these cards. You'll only need to supply your stamps, ink, and adhesive. Okay, so you'll get everything else that you need to create these cards. And you'll get, so in your kit, you'll get all the cardstock, pre-cut cardstock, everything. The only thing that I don't supply is anything that comes in the feature bundle, which is what we're working with today. It's the Sweet Jar bundle. It's a stamp set and a punch. And just a little hint for you, in the July exclusives that are coming out on July 1st, there is another stamp set that goes with the punch. So, but you'll get those 4, you'll get the 4 kits to create the 4 projects that we create during the week. And then I also give you, let me see, your kit will come like this, and it'll have a QR code, and the QR code will lead you to the full PDF for all of the cards. This is a previous class that I did, but it'll lead you to the full PDF with all of the instructions. And then also you'll have links that lead you back to the videos, the replays of the videos, okay? But like I said, your kit will come to you just like this, and it'll have all the envelopes and cardstock that you need, plus a little bonus card from me, all right? I am also offering my first creative kit. There should be, I think there's a link to register for the creative kits in the description. If there's not, I'll go back and I'll put it later after the video. This kit is registration is available through June the 28th. There's an option to purchase the kit. There's an option to do the add-ons for the bundles that we're using, which is the Pretty Florals and the Sweet Blooms bundles. You will create 4 cards, so you'll get a PDF and a video for these 4 cards, plus the kits for the cards, and you'll create this really cute little box to hold the cards in. You're going to get half a pack of the Florals and Bloom designer series paper. You will get a full pack of the In Color flat pearls and a full pack of the linen thread. Let me see. Yep, here it is. There should be a registration for this also. The kit is $48, and there's also an option for, if you're outside of the US, there's also an option for the PDF and the video only. Oh, and I just dropped a whole bunch of stuff. Hold on. I dropped all my cards. I have to pick them up. Okay. So if you're interested in that, there should be a link in the video, and I also send out emails about the classes and the kits that I offer. So if you're interested in that, I sign up for my email newsletter. That should be in the description of the video also. Let me just move this out of the way real quick. Okay. let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this is the first card that we're going to create today. Also for my email subscribers, my newsletter subscribers, I offer a project sheet for the projects that we create during Coffee and a Card. So you'll get a free tutorial every week from me. The tutorial this week will be for this card right here. It's a cute little Z fold card. I thought this was super, super cute. And this is one of the ones we're going to create today. This will be the second card we create today. The information, all the details for this card should be on my blog already. So if you want measurements, at the bottom of the blog post, there are measurements for this card. All right, so this is what your kit will look like when you get it in the mail. So you'll have your kit here and everything will be already die cut and embossed for you. Let me put these announcements away. I'll put those over there. And like I said, today we're working with the Sweet Jar bundle. It's a, there we go, that's better. It's a punch and a stamp set. So the bundle is the punch and the stamp set together, and it's so cute. It comes with this looks like little jelly beans to me, but these are sprinkles for chocolate chips. So this is actually chocolate chips. It comes with little hearts, little shamrocks that could also be flowers. It has birthday candles, some sweet little sentiments for you. It's just a really cute set, and I love punches because they're so easy to use, right? I'm gonna give you a little tip too on how to set up your stamp set to match the punch also. All right, so when you get your kit, it's going to be just like this. You'll have all of your cardstock, and then you will also have a sheet of cardstock for your stamping. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. So I need this little piece, I need my inside piece, and I'm going to set the rest of this to the side. And I'm going to use I have a smaller scrap piece of cardstock I'm going to use instead of my big piece here. All right, I'm going to grab, I like to use my piercing mat with a piece of grid paper on it, so I know that my images and I keep all my stuff straight. It helps me line everything up. All right. So I'm going to grab my Memento ink and my Strawberry Slush ink. I'm going to grab Memento, Pretty in Pink, and Strawberry Slush. These are the colors that we're going to be using today. All right. So I'm going to start off with my Memento ink. And I'm going to grab this little stamp set that says sending a little blank. There's a blank in the center, and it has, so the stamp set, there's a blank in the center of these words. There's some stamps in the stamp set that have sentiments that you can put in the little blank space. So I'm going to start off with this little stylish shaped square, and I'm just going to line it up here on my grid paper to make sure that it's straight. I'm going to ink up my stamp. Remember, it's always a pouncing motion, not a squish, right? I'm going to go as far over in the corner up against my little dots as I can, and I'm going to stamp that right there. Then I'm going to grab my little stamp set that says love. Not stamp set, I always say that. My little stamp that says love, and my Strawberry Slush ink. I'm going to ink up my little love sentiment, and I'm just going to stamp it right here in the center. Isn't that cute? All right. I'm going to go ahead and leave that open because we're going to need, actually, I'm not. I'm going to shut it because I will get it everywhere. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. Excuse me. And let me show you. So, oh, I thought I had it in here. Okay, there is a way, a really good way to, we have a lot of builder punches. Stampin' Up! Has a lot of builder punches. So what you can do is you can make yourself a template. And I thought mine was in here. Hold on, let me come over here real quick. Here it is. All right, so you can create yourself a template. Basically what I did was I took the punch and I punched out the jar, okay? I just took it and I punched it out of a piece of cardstock. Then when you go to mount your stamp on your block, you just line it up inside. You line it up inside your punch, your punched hole, and then you just add it to, I'll just do it real quick, hold on. Let me pull this off of here. It's been on here for a few days, so it's a little stuck. So we add it to our punched out space. And then mount it to your block. And then when you go to punch out when you go to punch it out, it's already lined up for your punch. All right, so I'm going to start with my Memento ink again. We're going to ink up our little jar. Make sure we get good coverage on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. I'm going to do 2 just in case I mess one up. All right, now I'm going to use my my light Pool Party marker. I'm just going to go around the edges of the jar to make it look like glass. So I'm going to go just like this. And these little shadow marks, I'm going to go ahead and color those too. I'm going to make a little grounding here in the bottom of the glass. And then I'm going to go across the top right in here, just like that. All right. I'm going to grab my blending brush and I'm going to just blend this into the cardstock so the lines aren't harsh. Just going to blend a little. It's actually a color lifter, but what it does is it pushes that ink back into the cardstock and it helps smooth out the rough edges of the ink. All right, now I'm going to grab my heart stamp and my filler image. This works for the cookies. I think it works for all of them. So this is what I'm gonna call the filler image, and I'm going to grab my Pretty in Pink and we're gonna stamp that filler just in the bottom of the jar. And I'm coming up just above that Pool Party ink. So it looks like it's just sitting in the bottom of that glass, right? Now I'm going to grab my strawberry slush and the heart image. I'm going to ink those up. And I'm going to put those right there. So cute. I love this set. I've had so much fun playing with it. Okay. We're going to take our punch and go ahead and punch this image out. I'm going to line it up. It always takes me a little while. Hang on, I'm going to do it this way with my other hand. This is my sore wrist, so I'm not really good at gripping things with it, but we're going to try. There we go. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and glue the lid down on our, grab my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to glue the lid down and let the glue dry, all right? So I'm just going to add, let's grab our silicone mat so we don't get glue on our surface. I'm just going to add a little bead of glue along the top of the jar. I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and pick up my lid, and I'm going to just position my lid on the top of the jar. I want a little bit of that pool party to peek out of the top of the jar there. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and set this aside and let it dry with our other piece here. And we'll start assembling our card. Okay. We have a strawberry slush card base. Oh, hold on. Hold, please. Okay, one more thing. I have, with your kit, you'll have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock. And I'm just gonna take the little hearts from the stamp set, and I'm gonna put them right here in the lower right-hand corner of that piece of white cardstock. All right, I'm gonna set that aside and let that dry. So we have a strawberry slush card base. Grab my my bone folder. This is, what is it? 5 1/4 by 8 1/2. Folded in half at 4 1/4. 5 1/2. Yep, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. Folded in half at 4 1/4. So we're going to burnish that. Then I have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 thick white cardstock, and I've taken that and I've run it through the corrugated embossing folder. This is the mini corrugated embossing folder, and basically you just put it in, put the white cardstock in, close it, run it through your embossing machine, and it comes out looking like that. To me, the corrugated design reminds me of, you know how sometimes when you pull cardboard apart, you have the piece in the middle. That's what this design reminds me of. All right, I'm going to take my liquid glue. I like to use liquid glue on embossed pieces because it gets in all the nooks and crannies of the embossing, and it gives you it gives you a stronger adhesive. It gives you a stronger hold because it's in all the little nooks and crannies of the cardstock. Plus, it also allows you to wiggle your cardstock around because it doesn't dry right away. Sorry, I've got an itch in my nose. Okay, so that piece is down. I'm also using the Floral Impressions Designer Series paper. This is from the, I think it's the Floral Impressions Suite, but it has all flowers on one side, and then it's got solid images on the other. It's a really pretty pack of Designer Series paper. So this is a 3 by 3.5 piece of part of that Designer Series paper. Oh, I shouldn't have glued that down yet. I don't think I can get this up. I think it's down there. Pretty good, pretty good. No, wait. Nope, yep, I can't. It's already down there. Okay, well, we'll just continue on and we will add our bow at the end. I'm not going to wrap it around this time. We'll just create a bow and stick it on the cardstock because Jana messed up. What I should have done is put this whole panel together, run the linen thread around the panel, and then, but we'll improvise. I'll just make a double bow and I'll stick it on the card front and it'll be fine. All right, so I have this piece of Designer Series paper from the Floral Impressions. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Let me get some glue right here on the side. I'm going to glue this down. Is anybody drinking some coffee this morning? I'm already on my second cup. I have my little Yeti cup that my mommy bought me for Christmas a couple years ago. She bought me a purple one year and a pink one the next year. All right, now we're going to go with another strip of the Designer Series paper. I believe this is 1/2 inch by 4. Like I said, the measurements should be up on my blog post. It should have posted already. Actually, I want this to go here, so this one is going to go right about here. Right across there. And then we're going to layer this one. You want it to go closest to the bottom of the yellow Designer Series paper as possible, because you're going to layer your cookie jar and your square on top of that, and you want this pool party piece to just poke out of the, peek out of the bottom. All right, I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of this little square. And we're going to add it right here in the middle. Then I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to put a dimensional right at the top where the lid of the jar meets the base of the jar. I put one right there just for some extra stability for the jar lid. A little extra hold. And then we're going to, I like to position this edge of the jar as close to the sentiment as possible. Like, I like to place it right between where the jar lid meets the body of the jar, right there. Now I want to take some Wink of Stella, and I'm going to just give this lid a little bit of sparkle. You could also use some metallic paper or even some glitter paper to cut your jar lid out. I'm going to give a few of the hearts a little bit of sparkle. Okay, also going to add just a little bit of shimmer to this jar lid, to the jar where it's painted, where it's blue. Make it look like it's shimmering with some glass. I'm going to grab some linen thread, and I already have some cut over here. So what I did, I'm going to make a double bow. I took the linen thread and I just looped it across itself to make 2 strings, and I'm going to tie a bow pull those through. Hold on, I went too, let me see. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, try again, Jana. I'm not leaving myself enough space on the other side to pull it through. There we go, that's perfect. I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to trim this other end that has the loop, so I'll make my other 2 tails. I'm going to trim those off. Then I'm going to grab my glue dots. I'm going to use my take your pick tool, and I am going to just fold this glue dot over on itself to make a little, like a glue ball instead. Then I'm going to just put that on my ribbon, and I'm going to add my little bow right there. Okay, I'm going to grab my flat pearls. These are the 25 to 27 in color flat pearls, and I'm going to use some of the strawberry slush, and I'm going to grab one here. I'm going to grab the smallest one and put it right next to it. Then I'm going to grab the middle size one, and we're going to go right over here. All right. Then I'm going to go to the inside of the card, grab my glue. Are you a green glue person, or do you prefer to use the Stampin' Seal, like the tape runner adhesive? I kind of like both of them. It just depends on the project that I'm working on. When I'm layering, I like the liquid glue because it allows me to move my cardstock around for a few seconds. Once I get it laid down, it allows me to move it around just to position it. Okay, there we go. And there's our card for today. See, it's not much difference. I wrapped the linen thread around this one, and then we just added a bow to this one. But super cute. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the fun fold card. All right, this is the card that you will get if you're an email subscriber. I will send you the PDF project sheet for this card today. The first card, the card we just finished, you can find the measurements for that card on my blog at stampedinink.com. Okay? Don't forget to drink your coffee. Okay, card kit for our next card is right here. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss for this one. But first, we're gonna do our folding and our stamping, okay? So you will have, in your kit, you'll have this little banner that we're gonna stamp on. I will include 2 just in case you mess up like I might. So I've got 2 here just in case. We have a, let me move this over so you can see it. We have a crumb cake card base. That's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, then we have another piece of cardstock that is, hold on, I'm gonna look at my little cheat sheet over here. I made myself a template, right? So the card base is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. That is the crumb cake. Then this is a Z fold. It's this piece here that goes on the inside. So it's kind of like a hidden Z fold card. So this is 5 1/4 by 8, and it's scored at 4 and 6. All right. So I'm going to fold these. I want my fold pointing to the right. Okay. So I'm going to fold it in towards the left, and then I'm going to fold the other piece where we scored at 6 back towards the right, okay? Because you want it this way because your glue is going to go on the back side of this panel, and it's going to go inside the card right here, so that when you open it, it's going to open this way, all right? What we're going to do now, I'm going to set this aside, and you want to make sure that you have really good folds. I used basic white cardstock for this white piece because it's a little lighter than the thick white cardstock. It's the weight is not so heavy, so your creases they lay down a little flatter, yeah, that's right, flatter. All right, so I have 2 pieces of the designer series paper that we're going to take, and we're going to layer this on our card front. Okay, we're just going to butt them up together here. Okay, so I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to, another demonstrator designed like the layout for this card. She's created, it's Ruth, oh, and I don't remember her name. I know her first name is Ruth, but that's where I got not the actual card design, but the template for the card. So thank you, Ruth, for the inspiration for the template for this card. I like a simple fun folds. I don't like complicated fun fold cards. All right, so now I'm going to add the second piece. And like I said, like I mentioned, if you are an email subscriber, I will send you the project sheet for this card, and it will have step-by-step instructions with all the measurements. So I have that email ready to go. I just have to attach the PDF. So I'll probably send that out this afternoon to you. So if you want this, sign up for my email newsletter. There should be, there's a link, I believe, in the description of the video to sign up for that. Otherwise, you can go to my blog, and there should be a button over to the side that says subscribe to my email. All right. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and then I'm going to grab the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm using, let me make sure which one. I believe it's the second to the largest circle. Is it second to the largest? Yes, it's the second to the largest circle in the die set. And the little banner came from this die set also. It's the smallest little label. Okay. Let me grab my embossing machine. I'm going to clear some of this stuff out of the way so I can get that over here. Move this over here. So I have my embossing machine. My stamp, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. All right, and I want to take the circle and I want to eyeball it, kind of put it right in the center. Have my second plate is right here. My top plate. I want to eyeball it and just put it in the center of my card. And these lines on the designer series paper kind of help me do that too. All right. Now so it doesn't move on me, I'm gonna grab some Post-it note tape, or you could use washi tape, whatever you have. All right, I'm going to just put me a piece of tape right here to hold it in place. Okay, put my top plate on, and then I'm gonna run it through my machine, and I'm gonna go forward until it goes through, and then back again. Okay. And then you want to save this circle. Okay, don't throw this circle out because we're going to use this on another project. We'll use this on a project. We'll use it on this project here that we work on Friday. All right, so let me move this back over to my table. If you follow me on Facebook, on my Facebook page, you'll see I've been working in my craft room, and I have my husband helped me put a really nice countertop over on my cabinets over here. I had some uneven cabinets along this wall, and we finally put a full countertop there, and I love it. It's so pretty. So I have so much more room to spread out. All right, I'm going to zoom back in real quick. This is a piece of pecan pie cardstock cut out with the same stylish shape die, so that when we put it on our card inside, this is what is going to fit when you open your card. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, now that we have this done, I am going to do some stamping. We are going to stamp actually I already stamped it. I stamped it just a little bit ago. Where did that piece of paper go that had that other? Here it is. See, we didn't mess it up, so we can use this one now. So I'm gonna go ahead, we've already, like I said, we used a Memento ink and we stamped our jar, and I am going to use my Pool Party marker, and we're going to do the same thing with the glass. I just think it gives it a little bit more dimension, a little depth. And it doesn't even have to be perfect, because to me, I like the glass, like the old glass that has the imperfections in it, or that you can see the watermarks in the glass. Those are my favorite. But I am a lover of old things. They remind me of my grandparents, and my mom and dad used to go, we call it junking. They used to, go to the antique stores and to the auctions and all kinds of things when we were kids, and that was their favorite thing to do, is to go junking together. Go junking. There's actually a place in Waco that I like to go. It's called Junk in the Trunk. I'm just using my color lifter to take away the harsh edges of this marker, make it look a little more like glass. All right, now we're going to work on our chocolate chip cookies. We are going to use our filler image our little chocolate chips, or you could even create a sugar cookie. You could do your cookies in crumb cake, and you could take a sponge dauber and ink with different colors on the sprinkles, and you could create a sprinkle cookie if that's what you wanted to do. Now I'm gonna take the image that looks like jelly beans. We're gonna use that one too. I'm gonna clean these real quick just to make sure they're clean, because I think this one still has pink ink on it, and this one looks pink, but the ink stains your, it'll stain your stamps. But I just want to give it a good swipe so that it's clean. I'm starting with, I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to move my stamps. I'm going to use crumb cake, I'm going to use pecan pie, and I'm going to use early espresso, okay, on my images. So for the filler image, we're going to use crumb cake. I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. It's going to look dark, but when it dries, it's not so dark. Position that right there. Okay, close. Then I'm going to grab my pecan pie, and we're going to use the little stamp that looks like jelly beans, but those are actually your cookies. I'm going to line this up, and we're going to stamp our cookies right there. It's tough to photograph. I tried photographing this card, and it looks okay, but it's tough to get the darker colors to not look right, but they show up a lot darker. The colors aren't as true because of the shadows and the way the light picks them up. This was a little tough to photograph. Okay, now I'm inking. I'm using early espresso to ink up my chocolate chips, my little sprinkles, and we are going to layer those right here on our card, on our chips, on our chocolate chips, our yummy, yummy cookies. All right. Now I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. Then I'm going to grab my Z fold. Okay, I'm going to grab my Z fold, and I'm going to take I need the little, there's an image in the stamp set that looks like it is this one right here. It looks like the little flicker on the candle. So the candlelight, it looks like the candlelight sparkling. So I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to grab the single candle, and I'm going to grab the 3 candles together. Okay, I have this one, and then my single candle. There's my 3. Where's my single candle? Did I put it up? I did not put it up. Okay, hold on. It's probably stuck to something else. Hang on. I don't see it. Huh? I have my hearts. I have this one. Well, I don't see it. Let me make sure. Let me check one more time. It's not in here. Oh, it's stuck right there. There's my 3, and I'm going to take and use, I'm going to remove this. Yep, I can do that. And I'm going to mount it to this little stamp, to this little block right here. That's funny. It was stuck in with the other stamps. All right, I'm going to take my, how did I do it on this one? I'm going to use Darling Duckling, which is right back here. And Daffodil Delight. Okay, so I'm going to use Darling Duckling, and we're going to go in with our 3 candles, and we're going to stamp right here in the center. Okay, then I'm going to use I'm going to grab my Pool Party right up here. I'm going to open this one up, and then I'm going to use the single candle and stamp one right in the middle of those 3. And then I'm going to do one more over to the left. Okay, now I'm going to grab my Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to do some sparkles on my candles. Okay, right there, right there, and right there. Okay, we just do our little sparkles on our candles. Then we're going to grab the sentiment that says happy birthday, which is nope. Here it is, right there. Okay, I'm going to put this one over here. And I'm going to mount the happy birthday on this little block. I'm going to grab my Memento ink. Ink this little stamp up, and we're going to do happy birthday right underneath. Oh, hold on. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. Messed it up, Jana. Okay, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to just stamp it right in the center of this little 1/2-inch sheet. I'm going to use my paper snips. Cut it at an angle. And then cut it at an angle that way. And then we will put some dimensionals on the back. We're going to make this a real interactive card. Put some dimensionals on the back and then take these off. Cover that up. Nobody will be the wiser, right? All right, so now let me do some housekeeping real quick. Sorry, I know that's probably really loud. I'm gonna get some, you know, some of that drawer liner stuff and put in the bottom of this tray so it won't be so loud. All right, now we're gonna grab our card and we are going to put our card base inside the card now that that's finished. All right. Go ahead and add your glue. position just the way you want it. And your card should look like this, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and punch out our jar and get our lid sealed on so that way the glue can be drying. So you guys don't have to see me stand up, I'm gonna move myself out of the way here. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and punch this out. Okay, add a little strip of glue here at the top. Our lid's a little crooked. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna set this to the side and let that dry. Then I'm gonna grab my linen thread and I'm gonna tie it. I'm gonna loop it over again and I'm just gonna tie it right around the side here to create our little bow. So that when it closes, it's just like this, okay? So I'm gonna grab I don't know, that's probably 20 and 16 inches or so. All right. Wrap this around the side. And tie our little bow right there. Then I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm going to snip that tail end there. I'm going to snip these off just a little bit. I'm going to grab a glue dot and I'm going to tuck it up underneath that little bow so it will stay put. Just want to make a little ball. And stick it right up underneath there. Okay. So what I did is what worked for me was that I closed up my card, my Z-fold card, and I went ahead and I only put adhesive right here on this edge of the circle on that fold. I put glue right inside that little half moon, that little half circle piece. All right. Then I took my pecan pie circle and I just laid it right inside that circle cutout. And that way you know that you're only getting adhesive on the side of your circle where you need adhesive. Okay, that's what I did. Then we're gonna grab our little banner, and I have the stamp that says "A Little Treat for You" that I'm going to ink up in Memento, and this is going to be I might get my head in the camera, so I'm sorry if I do. I'm going to stamp that right there on that little banner. Just like that. I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to go ahead and take my jar, and I'm going to add some dimensionals. One right there at the very top. Right there at the top. And then here at the bottom, and I'm going to add one right there in the middle. Okay. Take those backings off. And then I close my card again, and I put my jar right in the center of that circle. Okay, then I grab some mini dimensionals. And put them on our little banner. And then I just positioned our little banner right up there. So now you have your card that opens this way. Oh, I kind of like it with the little pop-up in the inside. All right, now we're going to embellish. So I'm going to go ahead and grab our Wink Stella. I'm going to give that jar lid just a little bit of shimmer. Then I'm going to add a little bit of shine to our glass, like it's reflecting in the light, just on the corners here. Okay. Gonna grab our flat dots again, little flat pearls, and this time we are going to use the Darling Duckling. I'm gonna add one here, the smaller one right down here, and then I'm gonna add one right up here. And there we have our card, our second fun fold, our second card, which was a fun fold card. So these are the, where's my other card? These are the 2 cards for today. Okay, so we have these 2 cards for today. If you like these projects, you can get the card kit for this week for when you place a $50 order in my online store. I'll send you the card kit for free. We'll do 2 additional cards on Friday this week. So join me again on Friday at 1 p.m. and I'll be back Friday at 1, and we will create these 2 additional cards, and then these are the 4 cards that you'll get in your kit for this week when you place a $50 order in my online store. I'll send you the kit for free. Okay, don't forget there's also the Sweet Sweet sale that ends at the end of the month, which is next Tuesday, and I also have my creative kit that registration closes on the 28th, which I believe that's Saturday. I think it's Friday or Saturday this week. So if you want more information about that, there should be a link in the description of the video. If there isn't, I will go back later and I will put it in there. I'll also put another reminder on my Facebook page, and I will send out another reminder email. So if you want that reminder to come straight to your email inbox, just subscribe to my email newsletter and I will get that sent out to you, or you can check it out on my Facebook page. And anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again on Friday at 1 o'clock. Okay, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for being here. Happy stamping.